to you, help me, help you. Keep bringing y'all the news, man. You know what I'm saying? I would like for y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, man. And tap into my channel, you know. So I got a nice one for y'all, you know. We're gonna get a little grown. And we're gonna try to figure some things. Y'all, I want y'all to help figure some things out with me. And if I'm saying something that don't make sense, and if it do make sense, y'all can comment and let me know. And let's help build my platform. But in the process, while we sitting right here looking at this face, no, we're gonna tap into what's going on up there. Let's check it out.
Look at this. If you don't know who this is, it literally doesn't matter. But he is also the latest edition of a guy that went on no jumper and went to jail right after he left. Why did he go on no jumper? Who knows? Maybe he still thinks it's 2016. Anyway, the guy with no shirt on is Grove Hero, a comedian from Memphis that was just trying to run his business in Chicago and make some money, but then he met up with these two guys, who, like most people in the streets from Chicago, would tell you, oh, you good over here with me, ain't nobody gonna touch you. Well, you see this guy and the one behind him? Yeah, the interview ends right after they appear because somebody started shooting. This guy, whose name is Breezy, is not supposed to be in this area. Anybody in Chicago can go to this area and be okay, but Breezy has been involved in a feud with the guys from this neighborhood for over a decade, and yet he still came over here like these Chicago streets are just a figment of his imagination. Like the stuff you see on the news is just make-believe. This guy, you don't know him? No problem. He's a rapper from Memphis who feels comfortable coming to Chicago. And that's fine. Millions of tourists visit Chicago every year. But being a rapper, this guy goes to the hood to try to fit in. And guess what? He got his car stolen. But why would they do that? Well, you pull up somewhere where 15-year-olds are playing with guns and ready to crash out, and all they know you for is the fact that you rap and flash money. What you think they gonna do? Invite you to grandma's house for some cookies? These two guys had similar but very different situations. But the one thing they have in common is that they are both too old and have way too much money to be in the hood trying to fit in. A lot of rappers get it confused. Just because people in the hood listen to your music doesn't mean y'all can be friends. Much like an obsessed Taylor Swift fan that stalks her from city to city, there's always an ulterior motive. For some reason, these guys don't want to connect with the people that made it out the hood. They just want to be accepted by the teenagers in the hood who still live at mom's house. Look at Young Thug. The man lived on the most suburban block I've ever seen in the state of Georgia. And he still want to drop diss tracks accusing people of snitching, even though he himself said way too much whenever the police start asking him questions.
They said Roscoe, but I ain't finna.
And let's just make something clear. All these rappers pretend that they would never snitch. Oh, bro, that's breaking the code. Until the police sit them down and ask one question. It's just that back then, the guys at the top told the foot soldiers, hey man, y'all can't do this. You gotta stick to the code. Just so that you wouldn't get in their way while they do exactly what they just told you not to do. If we believe influencers are fake and only say things because they get paid for it, why would rappers be any different? Young Thug dropped a song called Insure My Wrist, where he literally says he has insurance on his jewelry. Smart move, right? That's what smart people do. What does insurance on your jewelry mean? Well, that means that if somebody steals it, you have to make a police report.
Like about $800,000 to $1 million for the jewelry. 800 to $1 million. It's all insured.
And kids, don't believe the rumor that anything happens to snitches when they go to jail, because 99% of them get out and don't get touched. And in most prisons, the snitches are hanging with the killers. You know why? Because most of the killers are snitches. If so-and-so killed 3 people but he got out of jail early because he cooperated with the prosecution, are you gonna walk up to him and call him a snitch? He killed 3 people. I'm not saying nothing to him. Sammy the Bull confessed to being involved in 19 murders. This man is a real-life serial murderer. And his testimony got John Gotti and Frankie Love life in prison.
Sammy the Bull Gravano now joins the ranks of those who have broken the cardinal rule of the mafia, omerta, the code of silence. And what makes his betrayal all the more shocking is the fact that he was John Gotti's best friend.
But are you gonna play with Sammy the Bull? I know he became a Christian, but this man will still step on you in broad daylight. I just had to make that clear because ultimately this video is about how misleading these rappers are to the kids. Not all rappers, of course, because the biggest rappers that sell the most albums don't portray this image. People like J. Cole and Travis Scott, these are $100 million rappers, and they don't have to do this. And you would think it would show the other guys, but no. We got a 30-year-old man calling himself Lil Baby, which you know I'm gonna never give him a break on this channel. It's nothing personal, but if you're getting hugged like this, you gotta stop pretending to be a gangster. Gunna, now I respect Gunna. He ain't killed nobody or play like he was a gang boss in Atlanta, so he don't have to do life just to say he kept it real. Y'all can keep that, because if he were to get sentenced to life right now, some rapper in his circle will be trying to link up with every girl Gunna was messing festival while he was free. These guys not friends. I mean, once again, a guy shot up a tour bus for Young Thug, and when the police sat Thug down, that homie was the first name he threw out. See, and this is why we need to normalize being a civilian. You acting like a gangster, but you wear dresses. Woody told on you, but Woody a killer, so you're not gonna do anything to him. And this is why I say that no snitching is a myth. That whole movement was invented by older gang members back in the day that wanted the young guys to take all the charges and jail time for them. It wasn't about no code. And somebody as old as these niggas should know that. And this was just a reality. Finesse 2 Times is 33 years old. The guys that allegedly stole his car don't even look 21. What were you doing around these kids, bro? Breezy, you 34. Why are you on the block that's been shooting at you since 2011? Half of your entire hood is dead, bro. You was with Drake, dumbass. You're not supposed to be nowhere around here without armed security. And by the way, Finesse 2 Times, I don't respect this dude. He dropped a whole song trying to justify why you should just pray to the devil. Like, alright, bro, the devil was one of these little guys in Chicago with more bullets in his clip than years he's been on this planet. This is why you get what you get, no matter what you believe. You might as well just went to a psychic and asked what was gonna happen if you pulled up to the hood in a custom Hellcat, a grown dummy. This is why I'm glad that the kids nowadays care more about watching the IRL streamer than some of these guys, because y'all lost. And before I move on, let me give you an example of what I'm not talking about. And I'm going to use 2 guys from California on this example. Money Sign Suede, rest in peace, and EBK J-Bo. Suede was the son of some hard-working Mexican immigrants that fell into the LA streets at a young age, as he was only 22 when he died. And J-Bo is part of a very notorious group of guys from Stockton, California. And even though they both achieved notoriety in music to some point, I can't say that they were just coming back from million-dollar homes to the hood, because neither of them fully made it out. Suede ended up being murdered in prison, and it wasn't about no snitching. He was just in the streets, and nobody knows for sure why he died, but of course there were rumors that it had something to do with money. And of course, Suede didn't even really have a chance to make it out the hood and go back, because there was only a 1-year gap between him finally making enough money to leave the hood and him going to prison where he would die. J-Bo is definitely on his way to living in a $1 million house, but this man being Stockton, California, I don't know if any of you guys ever been to Stockton, but unless you live there, you're probably not just gonna visit to see the homies. So I'm not convinced that he made it out the hood yet. Point being, these guys might be rappers known for being in the streets, but they aren't men in their 30s still trying to pretend they're something that they're not. These are actually just young guys that was misled from a young age. Because once you get past a certain age, you don't have an excuse anymore. You gotta grow up. Moving on though, I salute the guys from Chicago like Von Off 1700 and Bloodhound Q50. Because even though they're both known for rapping about street activity in the city, you're more likely to see them live streaming or playing GTA than them standing around on the block around a bunch of guys that can't even buy a car. I don't salute them rapping about what they rap about and hyping up the kids, but I do salute the fact that they seem smarter than these old ass rappers. Once again, every time I see Lil Baby around the streamer, it always ends up with him doing something dirty, like stealing or trying to scam. Like, bro, I'm not hanging around no grown ass man that calls us up for Lil Baby. You older than me, bro. And if you get hugged like this and still trying to play gangster, I'm not hanging around you anyway.
Back in the building. And I hope y'all got, shout out to that brother, man, that actually put that out there, that posted that on YouTube, on the internet. It made a lot of sense, because I wanted to show y'all something else, but I started struggling, and I ran across that guy, and beautiful information, man. Beautiful information. And like, I want to start off, I want to ask y'all to like and subscribe, and pray to the higher power, man, for giving me a chance to be able to wake up today and come back on this platform and try to do my thing and see if you guys will help me help y'all, you know what I'm saying? Get some good information, some news out there. And what we at today is just like what we was watching, man. You got these rappers out here that got, before we even start what the rappers got money, we got a lot of people in this world that gotta wake up every morning, get their kids together. Some people ain't got transportation, so they gotta take public transportation. They gotta drive the kids out there amongst that. When school start, it's getting cold, so you got some others sitting out there at the bus stop, with their kids, because, they single parents, they ain't getting no help from their kids' father. They paying monthly rent. Rent's like $1,500, $2,000, and really it done went up. It's like $2,000, $2,500 in the hood now. You know what I'm saying? Section 8, the step they game up now. Homeowners is stepping their rent up in the hood now. So, living in Jersey in the hood now is like living in Harlem right now. The rent's so goddamn high. But I say that to say this, that you got these guys that been rapping that's actually coming from poverty areas. Because they come from a poverty area or a hood don't mean that they was like quote unquote super gangster, or they was out there shooting them up, killing niggas. You know, everybody that grew up in the hood ain't a killer. Everybody grew up in the hood ain't a gangster. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't define a gangster because you live in the hood. You got some of these people that we consider gangsters or that history, and you look at some of their background, they got mothers and fathers that had great jobs, live in big houses and homes and anything. Those would be the worst ones, actually, the ones that actually got somewhere to go, you know, because they feel like they got something to prove, you know. But it's just like, you got money as an artist, and you go and want to go back. It's like it's kind of like how you got guys in jail trying to get out of jail, and you got the guys that's not in jail trying to go to jail. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, and I said to say this because you got some people out there with the bag, but rapping about stuff that's considered to prison. Or saying something in they rap that they with that is sent to prison. Bro, you got the bag. Like, and listen, I get it, you know, but if it's entertaining, like it's supposed to be entertainment, then make it entertainment. Let it be known, because that's the difference between these rappers today and the rappers from back in a couple years ago. You know, they kept it a buck. You know what I'm saying? This is we out here to perform and give you guys a show. We ain't out here talking about some stuff that y'all shot some Joker yesterday, and today I'm here to tell y'all that I shot him, how I shot him, and indicting and incriminating myself. Oh, today, this is what they do. They rap about stuff that they actually did. Like, these jokers are talking about murders and shootings and robberies and all types of scams, and then they get mad when they get locked up. Or they say somebody telling on them. And then snitches at an all-time high. Like, you know, it's wild out here. And the moral of that information I was tuning to y'all just now was just that, like, myself fall in that category. I'm an older guy. I can't be standing outside on the block with the little bros all day acting like I'm them. No, I gotta tell. Even when you got older dudes in the hood, right? When they come out there, they not doing what the little homies or bros out there doing. They separate themselves. First of all, it'd be a different crowd. We could be all on the same block, but I would be, if I'm outside, I'll be with the guys that's more my age and my area. Even though the little pups or the little homies out there doing what they doing, you know, I say they can't come by us and be in our presence, but they're not gonna be like in our cipher vibing with us and conversating with us, because we have two different conversations. Like, man, they speak when need to be spoken to them, when they need to have something to say, but they chilling with their crew, talking when they talk. Just like the older dudes will be talking, they talk, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the older brothers that is from the neighborhood, they it's like a hit or miss. When dudes come out there, they like, whoa, bang, they gone. They like Tony Dorsett in the backfield. They come out there, shoot their beats, get low, hit the book, bang. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that's actually got the bag, and you want to come back to the hood, and you ain't come back to the hood in a giving. You coming back to the hood, you know, to show the world I can come back to the hood, and you ain't giving, and you ain't throwing nothing out there, and then you wonder why you got robbed or something like that crazy happened. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, because you got some starving jokers out there. I know how it feel to be starving, bro. Like, you know, in a situation with me and my man, like, yo, about ready to run, you know, go and see one of these suckers with that bag. For real. It's time to go lean on one of these motherfuckers for real. On everything. You know what I mean? Like, you got some hungry jokers. We don't care. Don't care what you did, who you did it to, what's going on. You got the bag and coming to get it. I gotta feed my family. So as an artist, that jokers know got a bag, what makes you think the vultures that was feeling like I was feeling once upon a time, starving, willing to just crash, try to get that bag? What you think we'll sit there, see you ride through, and you're bugging. You're bugging. You know what I mean? Y'all don't even come, and like I said, a lot of times these platforms, I do know and understand they don't publicize the things that people do, because a lot of artists do a lot for their neighborhood. A lot of celebrities, people that got the money, they do things for their neighborhood. I'm not going to lie. I'm not knocking that. It's always a why, you know what I'm saying? But it's not being pushed, how the negative stuff that they do being pushed. Or y'all can tweet. Y'all don't tweet about things that y'all got going on for the kids. I don't never see a tweet from a bunch of artists, book bag giveaways when the school start. Like have a challenge of that. How many different artists that's out there tweet about what y'all giving away for the kids and stuff like that. I don't see that. But they'll promote them albums and jokers when they want somebody to buy their albums and stuff like that. But like, you know, that's going off track a little bit. But my thing is, you know, if you got some paper where you can feed your family, thank God every day you wake up and try to do the best thing for your family and your kids, man. You know, don't be my age and still trying to be 20, man. You can't. Them years are gone. You can't get them back. You know, I used to hear the story, oh man, I wish I was your age. Now I'm like them. I don't say that shit, but I'm thinking too sometimes like, damn, when I was 20, I was, man, I can't get that back. But I ain't gonna chase it. If the higher power right now drop the bag on me, I'm not gonna go cop a Ferrari and ride through the hood and like, yo, stop. You gotta be kidding me. That ain't gonna happen at all. So it's just it's crazy, man. Even to like, you know, we're gonna talk about my boy Thug, right? And we're gonna talk about Boosie, right? And to break it down, because a lot of times these platforms be trying to sabotage these brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they still humans and everybody make mistakes and everything like that. Like, you know, me personally, I just look at it like the Thug situation, right? I think Thug was just the one to break the barrel out of his crew and got that bag in the industry in a way where he didn't even imagine it would happen for him, you know what I'm saying? And I think Thug was one of the ones that was in the streets. He really wasn't the shooter. He probably was a thinker, money maker, so he probably had to get money, like the dress, but I don't think he was the crook, the really slimy dude, nah. I don't think, like, you got dudes when you growing up in the hood and we young, your crew, you got he the car, he always was steal cars. We getting money, like, damn, dog, like, he still car, he already hustling. But he ain't gonna stop it, that's what he do. This dude wanna rob. Like, rob, bro, we got a block, we getting money. But he ain't gonna stop, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He want to keep a gun on him. Damn, bro, we ain't beefing nobody. Fuck, got the strap on you for a tuck it. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't going to stop that because that's what he do. And as these people like that get older, that becomes their craft. So I think that Thug and the little babies, I think they was just like the cool dudes from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So now that something like this happened to Young Thug, I'm not really surprised that, you know, these tapes coming out that they telling and stuff like that. Because when you look at it, he still was young when he started getting to some money. He ain't been battle tested. He wasn't like Young Thug started getting that big money when he was 25, 26, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, you get your battle testers between the 16 and 25. Them the areas that you in the neighborhoods when you done been through some things and done did some stuff, and how was the outcome, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys been having millions before they was 23. So and they didn't really do nothing when they was in the streets. They was in the studio, they came up. It is what it is. So you can't expect these jokers to never have the experience of being in and out of jail, being in prison, doing time, to having millions, living the life, riding, fly, dealing with the best women, everybody around them bobbleheading them, telling them, yeah, you right when they wrong, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna go to jail? No, they not. They gonna tell. They gonna tell. Because he's really a civilian. Young Thug is a civilian. Little Baby is a civilian. They civilians, man. They ain't when they pull up and when somebody show me something where Young Thug, a Little Baby with a 10-step or a 5-step or a 5 with a 3, any of that. Somebody show me that. You can't. You ain't. There are civilians that have hood knowledge, no hood dudes, grew up in the hood. Yeah. They not that, so it don't surprise me as an older brother, and I can look at how old they are and say to myself, damn, he this age right now, and, well, when he started winning, that was like 15, almost 13, 14 years ago. He 30. That means he was 17, 18, rolling. You ain't been through nothing. You ain't been through nothing. What you been through is what you living, that lifestyle of being a celebrity and being an artist. You're not a street dude. You just from the neighborhood where guys are out here committing street crimes and doing street activities. So I don't look at that like that's weird. Like, no, is Woody a street dude? Word up. That's why, you might hear Young say, yo, he a rat. But he don't say nothing other than that. Because he know the kid Woody could probably really, really expose. I'm on the show. He say things weird, but he can say some things. He probably just don't want to say a lot of things because he don't want to incriminate himself. But it's clearly that this dude holds some type of weight in their circle. Clearly. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at him. I don't condone the telling, but I'm going to say it like this, right? Being in the streets, right? Sometimes you got people that have the bag and they be misleading people, or something probably may have happened before, like you in the streets and everything. Like, let's put it like this. Me and another guy, we cool, right? This my brother. We came up. I got love for him. My loyalty lies with him. I'm off my young stuff. I die for my brother and everything like that. And then he go fuck my baby mother. And I found out. Now, I might not fight him because he my man and you ain't put no gun on my baby mother head and nothing like that. It made you fuck her. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna fuck with you like that no more. And it hurt my pride. Like, you got some dudes that'll fight over that, and I get that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I understand the ones that ain't gonna fight because they probably got a bigger vision, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you ain't forcing nobody. It ain't like you kept putting pressure. Like, it's not like a situation I seen it and I said it. You know what I mean? No, like, it is what it is. If a chick gonna fuck with you, she gonna fuck with you. Whether it's a nigga she knew you knew or not, it is what it is. But let me use that to say that, guess what? That could be a reason why down the line that same nigga tell on the nigga. If they get caught up in some shit, especially some shit like you, because you got sometimes with dudes be in the same neighborhood and they out there getting money together, but they out the same block or the same area getting money, but they're not getting money together. Like, we ain't eating off the same table. We on the same block. We in the same world, but we ain't. Our pot ain't the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you make, it ain't coming to the same nest as mine's going to, and it's vice versa with Nas. You know what I'm saying? So they could just swarm through and do one of them sweeps where they just grab everybody up in the neighborhood. Then you gonna have some niggas like, man, I'm telling you, I mean, fuck that nigga. I ain't still like, I know him. That nigga did this to me. That I ain't doing no time for that nigga. Like, sometimes dudes create rats. I'm not condoning the rats, but like, I'm gonna call the spade, man. Let's be real. You lose all your stripes when you tell. We know that. Let's be for real. We know that. But dudes create rats, man. And on top of that, you got rats that will really knuckle up, that know how to fight, that'll shoot you. And that rat is a word you made up. Don't forget that part. Rat is a word that is made up. A nigga that'll shoot you is not made up. You know he'll bust your ass. You know, it's like you got two guys that got a gun on them, but one of them used it. Who you gonna be? I'm worried about the dude that used it. I ain't worried about the one that got it on him. You ain't even known for busting it. You got that for sure. That's a poster, like. But him, he played with that. Yeah, I got to watch him. You know what I'm saying? So, when I look at the thug situation, it's just like, it's a sad situation because, like, you really had the bag, man. And not only that you had the bag, you got to put in a situation where you made it out of a messed up situation, and it was very messy. And opposed to you just coming home and just getting to $1, you came home and want to be, this rat, and you pushing all this, knowing that you done told. Knowing you done told, bro. Like, why you just could come home, thug, and just breathe easy and be happy, man? One of the best things what he said in one of his interviews, he said, you should have came home and said, you apologize to your fans and things like that, and to people that was in the crimes, or, to your family, your friends, all that. You supposed to came home and I'm supposed to be on an interview like that, and it's like, I'm thankful for to have another second chance of life, A lot of things that have happened. You know, I lost a lot of friendships with this case, and I'm gonna leave it like that. And, you know, I'm focusing on this new music and got some new artists, whatever, man. But you come out here off your super gangster stuff, knowing that you was just in the system, basically ready to do anything to get out. But then you come out and you act like that never happened. Talking this crazy stuff, and you got a jacket full of crap. Full of crap. Knowing you done been on there freestyling to the law. Like, come on, my guy. This is what bugs me out about you jokers, man. You know in your heart and your soul. How they say they soul, you know in your soul that you told. Or you said something. And this is how you know some of these guys is not no street dudes, man, because a plea, you know, Yayo just said it, yo. He took, Gunna took a plea. Jokers take pleas every day, man. I look at some old footage I posted. I know I was talking about something like that when a guy, a plea is a plea. I could not use my stuff. Yeah, I know I did, because I was talking about a dude that took a plea on me. And, you know, I thought the nigga ratted me. I put the goons on it. I was off my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's when I was young, though. And that's how I realized that, when the dude take a plea, don't mean he's telling to point you out. Say he's just taking the deal that makes sense for him so he can get home. And just sometimes when dudes say please, they can't get in contact with you. You in jail. You ain't got no phone to be called. Or if the other man in jail, it doesn't work like that. If a dude got 6 open cases, they go like, yo, well, we going to aggravate all these, throw these 2 out. You keep these 4. We going to give you this for that. You got to cop out to this. Dude want to take it. All right, makes sense. All right, boom. And he copped out to that. And in between that, he basically said however they wrote it up. The law's writing up what they think happened. That doesn't necessarily mean that it happened like that. Because you got cops out here that make up fucking charges and make up reasons why they locked you up. They do it every day. So when he write it up and say, yeah, well, I was watching you, Mr. Mitchell, standing outside, you know, and I observed him making a sell to a person that actually walks off this way. And when we grabbed him, we grabbed the person that had the drugs. They say he gave it to him, and that ain't even happened. You probably just lucked up, rolled through the hood, seen the nigga busting the jukes, and went down, nigga took off y'all quarter bone. That was really the play, but you want to sit there and say you was watching them and all this. But you cop out to that. Because you don't want to go to trial, you probably got some other shit open up, and you want to run everything together, get a sweet deal to get the fuck home. And that's all Gunna did. What Thug did was really a rap move. What Woody did was a rap move. That was really that Thug did, out of all everybody, when you talk about that Thug case, only people, the one that they talked about the most is the one that didn't even really rap. And that's Gunna. Gunna didn't tell, y'all. He took a plea, man. And those that know the system, those that's in the system, that don't have a voice, I'm going to speak for those that's in jail talking and having their morning beatdowns in jail and everything like that, that's talking about the case, like how we got these platforms to be out here free to tell our story. I'm going to speak for the ones that's in the system and say, look, man, where is this born? They like, man, that nigga ain't tell, nigga took a plea. Shit. Man, 95% niggas in jail is in jail because they took a plea, not because they went to trial. They copped out. Once you cop out, you basically saying whatever they wrote on that paper is what happened. Even if it didn't happen, you know in your heart it didn't happen. Real talk. So y'all running around here acting like, you know, like how they talk, you talk about Boosie, right? I'm going to break that down. I'm going to touch on the thing with Boosie, right? How they said, Kodak Black said, yeah, you know, he ain't say nothing about the other. And I listen, we get it, right? But I'm going to break this one down. Because Kodak is another one of them that's really not he's from the hood. He got hood ties. He probably seen some things, probably even did a little thing. But he was very young, like, in that world for a long time, man. So what I'm going to say, right, they talked about Boosie. We all that's from the streets, we know this. The ones that's been in the streets, we all know a nigga that told. That was our man. We was once upon a time cool with flower. We ate together, smoked weed together, talked to women together, go on trips together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every brother that's in the hood been around that type of brother. Like, that was my man. But guess what? When that happens, you don't go and talk about him like that because you know him. You know his family, you know his baby mother, his kids. You know it ain't right. You just be like, man, damn, bro, did some bullshit. But you hear another nigga told from another hood, you make a story about it. Like, oh, Jay, that bitch ass nigga down there, nigga ratting on such. Yeah, he's a hoe ass nigga. That's just how it go. So Boosie ain't gonna sit there and bash Thug, and because that's his man. He ain't gonna bash him, man, because at the end of the day, he know, like, yo, that's my peoples and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna get up there and say what he did. Like, I know the nigga did some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But that's my guy. How I look like going up to saying, yeah, I ain't fucking with him no more. But even if I ain't fucking with him, he would know, because me and him got out off the clock, off the charts. I don't communicate with him no more. Or they can still be cool. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody that's fly with somebody gonna get on a platform and just bash them, especially if they ain't did nothing to him. And you see it with Woody. When Woody wanted to say all this extra stuff about Thug when they came home and did what he did. We would just kept looking at Woody like he's a piece of work. But Thug came home and opened up the book. So when you talk about Boosie, Kodak, and say, he ain't gonna talk about it, man. You ain't gonna talk about Kodak. You know mad snitches in your fucking hood. You know mad rats. You don't get up there and talk about them. So let's be for real, man. I'm giving y'all the real information, man, and the real jewels, man. So, you know, I want to tap in that. And last but not least, man, I'm gonna get into my boy, man. I love you to death. I don't know him personally, Dame Dad, I don't know him personally, I don't know Cam personally. Like, these guys been in, you know, they know people that, I know people that know them and been around them and stuff like that. But, not Dame Dash, but Cam and all of them, you know what I'm saying? But what I want to say is that it's powerful, man. You have to watch what you say. It's just like even with these platforms now that they got with everybody putting everything. You gotta watch what you say and what you do, because 10 years or 15 or 20 years from now, you might not feel the same way you feel now. So not only you could look at yourself and say, damn, I was like that. The world don't forget you was like that. So that's what happened with Dame. Dame very arrogant, man. They was waiting on you to fall from the gun bus. From the gun bus. And you felt right until they trapped. That's why God work in mysterious ways, man. It's something Dame you did to the higher power. Because he sent you right back full circle. He let everybody get a smack at you. Because they waited for this moment for you to fall on your face, because I used to talk about how much you this, you that. I ain't gonna never be this, I ain't gonna never be that. My family gonna always have this. But you up here whining every time about money, and went for bankruptcy and all this stuff like that. Look, man, I ain't got your money. But when I'm gonna call a spade, that guess what, bro? You used to be up there talking heavy. You was talking filthy, bro, and it makes a lot of sense. But like I said, once you say some crazy things and your actions move another way, guess what? That shit get lost in the sauce, you know? It's like how my mom used to say, she used to say, you know what? You can make a lot of sense, but the way you come off will make it look like if it don't make no sense at all. It's like you can have something to say to somebody, but if you don't know how to talk to them, then they ain't gonna get through there. They ain't gonna register right. So, you know, Dad, you God just make you feel your own pain. As much as you got love for Cam and everything. That man doing, when you look at the Is What It Is, Talk with Flea, anything, that we smile at him and me, they all happy. People that get money, they smiling, happy. 50, as much as he's joking, talk about he do it in a joking way. Them jokers is happy. They got paid, but they living their life. Their family is good. They ain't got internet and industry problems where they worry about people like me that's on social media trying to, make themselves be known and, and make themselves a bag off their reputation and things that they did. They're happy. They don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? They ain't thinking about us. See, dang, you worried about what's going on. Talk about something, make yourself still relevant like you still 20 when you ain't that old 20-year-old Dame Dash. You ain't got no wave right now. Ain't nothing going on for you. You and your boy Ho fell out. You done fell out with Cam. Like the whole camp you was with, you done fell in your face with. So it's something you did. Like everybody can't just say, like how you said Mike was a chump. If 30 people saying Mike was a chump, Mike, you must be a chump. You must be touching them boys. And that's what's going on with Dame. We looking at everything you touch, everybody that you was really like in the beginning stages with and was molding and come out to be, they went the other way on you, man. And they ain't kick your back in. You be the one that get up there starting and stuff. So that's why I said you must did something to the higher power because you go out there and create the problem. Nobody wouldn't have really knew all the stuff you and Ho went through if you wouldn't have went out there. Nobody wouldn't know all the stuff you don't care if you wouldn't have went up there. You getting mad at that man for getting to a bag. Like you really, from what I seen it, is that Cam did a thing with 50. Before that, him and Dame was on the up and up from internet world. They wasn't beefing. Dame got mad that Cam was up there with 50 once Jim Jones, said what he said. And I'm saying to myself, how Dame and Jimmy mad at him for talking about something that happened, like an old war story. He ain't get up there and was like, yo, this my man, fuck Dipset, fuck that. He ain't do none of that. The dude making the business move. And at the end of the day, he's an entertainer. He's a business person. So he got the show. He's trying to bring some viewers there. That was a smart move on his end. That was a very strategic move. And I think that if y'all was on the up and up with him, y'all was all on the same page, that would have been a clean. Y'all would have loved to be a part of that too, to tell y'all story. But because you ain't relevant, that wasn't a power move. Jimmy got mad because he don't mess with 50. He feels Cam supposed to be his man. I don't rock with that dude. Why you gonna come up there with him? But Jim did that because Jim trying to work on his bag. Dang, you try to work on your bag. But it's a way, we all try to work on the bag. But when you hold them type of powers like you had, and you don't talk the way you talk, and you carry that facade like that, they waiting for you to crash, man. In the bushes waiting for you to crash. And now you crash, and not only when you crash, you ain't know how to breathe easy in the accident. You want to yell. You want everybody to see that it was you in the accident. And this is what you get. You get to be up there with no teeth in your mouth. So, but yeah, I'm getting my dentures fixed and everything like that. Yeah, I get my dentures fixed right now too, because I ain't out there talking about it. I ain't out there spitting my teeth out about it. When people that look at it, if they look at me, they go, damn, like Mr. Bob, y'all, they coming. But I had to get them all taken out. Anybody that needs teeth, they could put it in. I know how I go. Gotta get them all taken out. Get your mouth here, gotta heal. So this is a process, you know what I'm saying? But when they come, I'm be up there bling, showing my shit. Yeah, hell yeah. But Dame, you Dame Dash, you ain't supposed to go up there and do no stuff like that. They ain't put like the Dame that you portrayed the world to see. You showing us something that we ain't think. Like, I ain't ever think Dame would be up there acting corny like that. Yeah, you probably right about whatever thing. I'm not saying everything you saying about Cam is not right. Because, yeah, some things I think y'all could have did it a little more professional. But once you make it like that, that's what it is. But that don't mean you got to be like that too. Also make it right. If you the OG and the young pup making a mistake, you don't act like the young pup to prove to him that you're right. No, you fall back. You go about it on the wrong. Be grown about it. But see, that's that going back to like you always wanted to be in the life of the party when the rock was waving. You couldn't just fall back. Let whole rock the show. You still caking. Listen, if God was ever blessed me with some bread like that, if I was ever to get to that world where I'm making money and I can fall back because I can let my money pay my bills without being all in the face of things and sticking my neck out there, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to say, hey, this is at me. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, I love this platform because it's keeping me out of trouble. You know, it taking me out of my stinking thinking. You know, it's kind of saving my life. Because it's hard, man. You know, when you ain't got a job and you still want to be supportive and be a part of the family, as far as like helping out and financially, all aspects. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in street life and you mess your name up out there in that working world. And I'm not saying you bad credit or stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, if you out here, you 40-something years old and you ain't worked for 40 years, you ain't got no Social Security. Now, I'm blessed to have jobs for years. Let me clear that up. Y'all been working. I got a lot of Social Security. I gave that man his dollars. Like, I know what it is to work, and I definitely spend my time in the streets. But what I'm saying is that it's not easy as it would be if I would have took the right way. Did the right thing when I was young to sit back now and chill. See, now I gotta grind hard now when I'm supposed to grind when I had it. The stamina for it, the energy for it, the years for it. And not saying that God ain't blessed me with more years ahead and I ain't healthy now to do what I'm doing, but at the end of the day, I wasted a lot of time. But we all go through that. And that's why I said it's not cool for the older guys to put this facade out there, act like it's something that it's not. We got older, but we know it's tough out here, it's hard. We made some fucked up mistakes. Let's tell the kids or the younger generation, or the guys that's looking up to you, people that's subscribing with you, people that's sharing your story, people that look forward to you talking to, share, be real with them. Let them know you grateful, you blessed, you thankful, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I would do without you guys if y'all stop, watching my show or whatever that you out there doing. Because there's some people out here fucked up, bro. Like, for real, like, this is right now. This is the only thing I could have thought of off the head. I said, maybe I could try this out and, share my story. Maybe I can make me some money streaming the podcast, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Supposed to be going out this, feeding my hood with the work. Because it's easy to do that. But I ain't trying to go back to jail. Like I said before, like, yo, if jail wasn't a part of selling drugs, right hand to God, sign me up for it. With everything that comes with it. If selling drugs was legal, I don't care about the robberies, the murders, the stick-up kid, none of that shit. I'll sign me the fuck up. But jail come with that shit. And I know what it is to be in jail, how it's nothing compared to that. I know how it is to be in here with jokers that's never coming home, that did way more things I can ever imagine. I'm talking about they shit that you ain't got the stomach for. And then they said, yo, I wish I could come out there and work at McDonald's today. I'll work at McDonald's. Niggas ain't seeing their kids. Can't get their daughters advice from keeping away from other dudes like they used to be. Because when we young out there, man, we don't respect our girls. We don't respect them young queens. That's why they come out messed up sometimes. When they ain't got a father in their life and they got dudes from the streets just mess them up even more. But I know it's some real hard body dudes and sisters that would love just to come out here and clean up garbage. They would work at the poppy store. They would wash cars. They would do anything. They would stand outside and sell bean pods and fruit and fruit. All that, them hustles that people stand outside and be selling that I know I couldn't do. You're probably in the way. Like, they were willing to do things like that. It's no more pride for them because they've been in there so long, knowing how miserable it is in there. Can't see their mothers and fathers, like, and these are the real gangsters. These are the reason why a lot of us made these mistakes of being outside because we want to follow their footsteps. And they in there like, yo, nah. I apologize. You got some Muslims that turned to the imams. You know, got some Christians that have turned into the pastor. They so smart and turned their life around. But you can't get it back. So my page is gonna be to keep you guys and remind you guys on tools how to stay out here on these streets, man. How to remind you, know what I'm saying? That's what my page is about. I'ma dig in and show y'all this here and there. But the truth, my page, what I'm gonna push is, I just wanna push to show y'all that I'm always remind y'all that we ain't trying to go to the joint. It's tough in there, it's miserable in there, man. You don't wanna be in there, man. I done did it all in there, man. I done had all the good jobs, ODRs. I done been in lockup, acid. I done went to the feds. I done did I went through the fundamentals of that jail shit. Nothing that nigga tell me. Ain't no jail different from any other jail, just the people. Like the streets don't change, just the people. Listen, I hope I could change somebody from thinking about waking up robbing somebody today. I'm hoping that whoever felt like doing something to somebody last night, when they looked at this today, they say, you know what, I ain't gonna even do that. Some things ain't worth it, my brother. Sometimes when you really, really pissed off about some shit, go far away from wherever you was gonna be at to commit the crime and give yourself a day or two to think, and then you'll feel much better about it. Because, and when you're in the steam, if you don't get out the steam, you might be living in a dream. So it's like, all my brothers is out there in the streets, man, doing what they doing, man. I understand, man. I get it. I know that I understand how it is to be cool next to somebody today and get shot and be dead in front of me, and tomorrow I wake up like ain't nothing ever happened. I know that feeling. I know that feeling to be in front of y'all and waking up tomorrow inside the county. I know that feeling of having some money in my pocket, feeling like, you know, this shit ain't gonna never end, and being broke with nothing. I don't like them feelings. One of the most hurting feelings is when you can't provide for your kids, when you really love them. I'm talking about those that know, the ones that got kids that want to be in their kids' life. That shit hurt. So I just hope that y'all give me a chance and on my platform, get a chance to really put some things out there, man. I'm starting to think I found my niche. But I love y'all. Till you help me, help you. Keep giving y'all some information, giving y'all these stories, man. Let's make it happen, man. But I see you guys. Love y'all. Peace.